When the world shakes, when screens turn red and headlines scream collapse, most people feel a punch of fear in the stomach. They freeze, they worry, they panic, but the rich, they don't. They watch, they wait, and then they act. That calmness isn't arrogance, it's strategy. It's not that they don't feel fear, they've just trained their minds to respond differently. Because the rich know something most people never learn. Crises don't destroy wealth, panic does. Think about it. Every decade, the world faces a new disaster, a market crash, a housing bubble, a pandemic, inflation, war, AI revolutions. Yet somehow, after every storm, the same names rise even higher. They lose millions, sometimes billions, and then double it back within years. Why? Because they understand that chaos is just part of the system, not an exception to it. The rich don't play the short game. They think in decades, not days. While most people chase safety, they chase cycles. They know that winter always comes, but so does spring. They prepare for both. Let's break this down. The poor and middle class see money as something to survive with. The rich see money as a tool to control time. During crises, the average person says, I need to protect my savings. The rich says, I need to protect my mindset. Because money follows the mind. You can lose all your wealth, but if your thinking is still sharp, you'll rebuild it. That's why true wealth isn't in the bank account. It's in your philosophy. But here's something most people don't realize. Rich people plan for panic. They expect it. They know humans are predictable. They know fear spreads faster than facts. So they study behavior, not just markets. They watch patterns, how people talk, react, buy, sell, flee. They understand the psychology of crowds. While the masses react emotionally, the rich observe scientifically. They don't ask, what's happening? They ask, what will people do next because of this? That's where the opportunity lives, in the overreaction of others. During the 2020 crash, people rushed to sell everything, desperate for cash. But those who stayed calm, who bought when everything looked hopeless, made fortunes in less than 2 years. That's the secret of the rich. They see panic as an emotion that can be monetized. They profit from fear, not by exploiting people, but by staying rational when everyone else loses their mind. But here's a deeper layer. The rich don't panic because they've built anti-fragile systems. What does that mean? It means their wealth is designed to survive impact. They don't have just one source of income. They have multiple streams: investments, real estate, companies, royalties, dividends. So when one area crashes, another holds or even rises. It's like a building with multiple foundations. Even if one side cracks, the rest stands. That's not luck, that's design. Meanwhile, most people live on a single paycheck. They depend on one job, one source, one fragile thread. So when a crisis hits, it feels like the end. But for the rich, it's just a shift. One door closes, another opens. This is why the rich never chase stability. They design adaptability. They know the world doesn't reward the safest, but the most flexible. Now here's something that will surprise you. The rich actually need crises. Without them, the system would freeze. Without recessions, the market would never reset. Without panic, the impatient would never sell, and opportunities would never appear. Crises are the cleaning fires of capitalism. They burn the weak, but they forge the strong. So while the average person prays for calm, the rich quietly wait for chaos. Because that's when everything is for sale. And yet, their calmness doesn't come from greed. It comes from understanding. Understanding that money is just energy. It moves, it flows, it changes hands. When you stop chasing it and start studying it, you realize money doesn't disappear in a crisis. It simply changes direction. And the rich are the ones standing where it's going next. But let's go even deeper. The rich don't panic because they've conquered mental noise. They don't live in the same mental environment as most people. While the average person consumes panic through news and social media, the rich consume silence, analysis, and data. They filter information like investors, not like victims. They don't follow the media narrative. They study incentives. They ask, who benefits from spreading fear? And once you understand that, you become immune to emotional manipulation. Another secret, the rich think in probabilities, not emotions. They know that no event is purely good or bad, only more or less probable. That mindset allows them to stay objective when others drown in drama. They ask questions like, what's the upside if I'm right? What's the downside if I'm wrong? They build systems where even if they lose, they learn, and learning itself becomes profit. So even failure becomes fuel. Let's talk psychology. When you panic, your brain activates survival mode. You stop thinking long term, you stop analyzing, you just want safety. That's exactly when bad decisions are made. The rich understand this biological trap. They know panic isn't logical, it's chemical. So they create rules for themselves before the storm hits. Rules like never sell during fear, never buy what everyone is chasing, always hold cash for when no one else has any. These are not habits, they're systems of self-control. That's the real power of wealth, not buying more things, but buying more clarity. Money gives you the time to think, and thinking clearly in chaos is the ultimate advantage. When others are screaming, you can whisper. When others are lost, you can plan. That's why true wealth is invisible. It's emotional stability. And let's destroy a myth. Not every rich person is smart, but every lasting rich person has emotional intelligence. They can delay gratification, they can watch their portfolio drop by 50% and not lose sleep, because they know value doesn't vanish in a headline, it just hides for a while. The rich don't measure success daily, they measure it in decades, in legacy, in freedom. They're not addicted to dopamine, they're addicted to patience. Here's the irony. The poor want to become rich to feel safe, but the rich became rich because they learned to feel safe before they had money. That inner peace, that stillness, is what allows them to make clear moves when others freeze. You can't make good decisions in fear. And fear for most people is a lifestyle. But for the rich, fear is just data. They also understand something else. Crises reveal character. When things fall apart, you see who truly knows what they're doing. The rich don't just watch markets, they watch people. They see which leaders panic, which companies adapt, which trends die, which ones are born. They know that innovation accelerates in chaos. That's when new fortunes are built. Uber was born after the 2008 crash. Airbnb, same story. Crisis creates innovation because it breaks comfort. And the rich, they invest in discomfort. So why do the rich never panic? Because they understand life is a game of preparation, not reaction. They live in anticipation, not surprise. They know storms are part of the ocean, and they've built better ships. You can't stop the waves, but you can learn how to surf. That's the mindset of the wealthy. They don't pray for calm seas, they master the art of sailing through storms. And that's the difference between fear and fortune. Final message, the next time the world starts to panic, stop, don't follow the noise. Ask yourself, who will this panic make rich? Who's staying calm right now? Because that's where the truth is, and that's where opportunity hides. The rich don't have superpowers, they just refuse to be emotional slaves, they stay calm, they stay logical, and they move when everyone else stops. That's why they never panic. They don't need to, they already own the storm.